how I do this. Okay, so the higher way to communicate, the vibrations are different. So when you ask higher beings the question, you would have had these experiences, I'm sure. There is a difference between inspire and expire. You know the difference, right? Expire is death. That's how we die. And when you inspire, you bring life in. And how are you bringing life in? I'm saying you don't need that knowledge. You do it, right? Right. You don't wait somebody to give you inspirational thoughts. That's the same thing. Where do you get these idea that lifts you up? That is where the human mind cannot fathom. And the guys who mock us, mockery creates fear. When people mock us, we try to hide our truth. And that's where we get lost. Because by trying to hide what we have, like in India, I told my family, I said, I am a healer. And the first thing they said is, don't act crazy. That's the first thing they said. But I immediately know that's coming from them, not from me, because I knew who I was. But they were still blinded. Even now, my father doesn't believe in me. Even now. And you know, the weird thing is my father is so diabolical. I mean, I'm not saying in a negative way. Right, yeah, I understand. But like what I'm saying is he's so blinded by what he believes. He's so nice though. He's very, very kind and nice. Mm-hmm. He went and actually, my mom is very rich family. And his parents were very poor. So my mom was only 17. So his mom pretended he had no brothers, sisters, and got married from this rich family. And my mom died of malnutrition. My dad had to raise his brother. He had total 6 siblings. So he had to bring up his brothers, put them through college. My mom's everything, any jewel she wore, she could never have it. He'll pawn it. So to honor that, I became the poor man's daughter because I felt so guilty. So I left India thinking I'm going to save him. This is so weird. Like, you know, I'm like trying to fill you in. And when I came to this country, he followed me. And then he was still in bankruptcy. So I was telling my dad, I'll get married. I gave him money. Every year I'll send him money. Whatever I made, half of it was his. This is the way I lived from 1993, and I got married in 1998. His debt never ever get paid off. And the minute I get married, he got married. And I said, Dad, you don't even know how to take care of yourself. He says, I never asked you to pay my debt. He says, it's your belief system. He says, I can never live without debt. I was shocked because to rescue him, I came all the way to this country, and he decides to tell me afterwards, you know, and I was like, you know, like inside I felt wounded, but I don't think he even understands how much he took me away from my culture, because my whole thing was about being an Indian. Yeah. Even now, actually, I live a simple lifestyle, but he cannot live without his means. He's in so much debt, I have no idea. So he got married to another lady who is Italian, and he tells in America, that's how he got into debt. Actually, he used to fly out to meet blind dates, and he went even in the first year after their marriage, $29,000 in debt. And his wife tried to sue me to get money out of me because she feels he raised me. And and then I told my dad, I said, financially, I cannot support you anymore. He says, I never asked you for support. So then afterwards, now he tells my husband, he doesn't want to tell me. She's Christian. And so he pretends to her he is Christian and he goes to church. And to me, his 80th birthday came. He pretended he wants to do Indian ceremony. So he came there. I asked him, where do you come? He says, because I wanted to honor you. So he doesn't want anything from me, he says. He wants to honor me. Like the way he answers is very interesting. So he tells my husband, he doesn't tell me, he tells my husband, if I die before my wife, let her bury my body, Christian way. If she dies after,
No,
if he like outlives her, right?
Yeah.
If he survives and he dies after her, let my daughter cremate me. Isn't that like it's crazy? My husband, he told me this, and I'm like saying, I'm just shocked. I told my dad, why are you even confiding in my husband when he's not even he's
outside the family, yeah.
Yeah, he's American. My husband is American. So my dad doesn't understand anything what I do, what I stand about. And this is the way he raised me. And when I tell him I'm a clairvoyant, he told me, even after marriage, because my husband sometimes used to call me crazy. That's it's very, we are a very dysfunctional relationship. That's why I wrote Boring Way to Be Happy with a Dysfunctional Family. So my dad started calling me crazy. And that's when I realized, and I told my dad, I said, Dad, I cannot afford to support you even mentally. So I decided to dishouse him. So now I'm trying to figure out what's my moral obligation with my dad. What is it I need to do? Because in India, once the soul dies, you honor them by nourishing their soul. They carry on their legacy. And I have no idea what is my dad's legacy? Thievery? Robbery? So I'm like saying, what are you leaving behind? So I told my dad, who are you? He says, I believe in me being God. That's what he says. He says, God is inside me. And I don't need to pray to nothing to see the God in me. I said, okay, that's fine. But who nourishes you? Wouldn't you honor your wife and be honest with her? Because he's going to, if in case he dies before her, she's going to inherit his debt. And so they decided to go establish a trust and give all that to my son. And the middle one they chose. So my worry is, in that case, does my son automatically inherit their debt? And so I don't know legally what is. He's going to leave a big mess if he dies before her, because she is not a wilting willow. She's very vocal. She actually tried to go get him quadruple bypass on an assumption he has a problem. And I told him, I said, you don't need it. So I had to go get him out of his intensive care unit, bring him to Massachusetts, got a robotic surgery, brought him back to his wife in 3 days. Meantime, she tries to stop his insurance. And she said she feels I violated her rights because she could have gone and given him soup when he was getting out of his quadruple bypass. And she didn't mind because she felt what her convenience to get a shuttle to go to New Jersey was more important than him getting the treatment she needs. So she went and told the barber, because usually she confides in her barber how violated she felt. The barber said, by this time you would be attending the wake then. Everybody else knows except her. And so he is given a medicine to thin his blood so he'll bleed to death, which he doesn't need. I told him, you don't need it because you didn't have that type of surgery. So because his wife has to give it to him every night, and to prevent her from damaging his health, we had to dump his medicine and put medicine, because she wouldn't allow him to take the right medicine. She throws it out, whatever we give. So I have to send it to him, and he cannot directly receive that medicine. So it goes to his friend, and the friend comes, he dumps his medicine and he puts it in. And she delivers him at night. And thinking it is the other one. But if in case it's poison, he wouldn't know, because he has no idea what it's. Whereas she is taking the same medicine and she's bleeding from her nose. She passes out. And but that's the way they want to live. So why I'm saying is the clairvoyant part, the reason I brought up is, I have been given the knowledge, like speech consciousness work with me. She came and she did, like, actually, she put her hand on her heart and she says, no knowledge is hidden from me. She said, I'm guaranteed. Anything I want, I'd be guaranteed. So the seeds introduce themselves. She's the holder of seeds and oils. So, because they even say in India, the seed, what you sow, what you reap, like Christianity, right? Same way, the seed has the wisdom. The way I can tell that you will understand it. Man has an idea how many seeds in an apple, right? God has an idea how many apples in a seed. Do you get that? If you get that difference, you know what it is. If you cannot perceive it, then this lesson is not for you. Okay. Do you know the difference, right? Yeah. So once you understand the difference, so the seeds considered prarabdha karma. That is, all our ancestral debt is what is the seed the Father through his semen sends out. And that is ancestral debt. That's our first debt we need to pay. I wrote this book called Three Karmic Debt. That's one of my books. And why did I write it? I went to CASA, court appointed special advocate, because I believe in stabilizing family. That is one of my purpose. I was told this is my purpose, Positive Anonymous 12 step, because to unite all the world, the only way we can unite is through food. Food is the only way. And there are 5 sacred herbs in ancient time. One is soma, which is hops, because they make moonshine, like, kind of like ancients use.
Marijuana sister, cousin.
I don't know, but soma is something that gives ecstasy.
My neighbor grows hops.
Yeah. So, yeah, but in ancient time, they used to call it soma. Okay. But the closest I could think, because I think after the meteor, we had like an extinction, and that herb supposedly disappeared. We don't even know. They said it is connected to moon juice. So I would think, like, the closest I can think of is hops, because hops does help with the ligaments. So I replaced certain herbs with my wisdom, because when we tested humulene, hops had humulene, which is what ligaments, because fascia, we are held together by fascia and water, okay? So that's why our face alters when we have accident, because when it blows up, you don't even know that this human being. So the water body shifts and we alter shapes. So the child we used to be is different from the man now, right? But the only thing changed is water content. You understand that, right? So the fascia is what we need to reset. So you regain that face again and again. Otherwise you're water. Water body, you don't have identity. So when you have the face, the fascia is reset by hops. So the soma is the first thing. So the second thing is durba, which is a holy durba grass. And the tip of the grass vibrates 528 hertz, which resets our DNA. So we are first the fascia, second thing is vibration. And the third thing is we are barley, sustenance, because we need to put nutrition. That's why barley soup is very, very famous. And interestingly, when they make the wine or beer, or they use barley. So it's like almost like we had passed on that tradition without understanding. But I'm just telling you.
And barley.
Yes.
Beer.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah. So when you do that, barley, the fourth one is they considered ephedra as stimulant. We don't know what herb it is. There is like a question. Maybe it is kratom, kabakawa. They don't know. But the closest I could find is moringa miracle tree. And the fifth herb is bong, which is cannabis. So all these 5 were released by heavens themselves. And these came through the divine beings. So when I came across moringa, because that's the only seed I could grow that would give me cannabinoids in addition to cannabis. So she asked me, see, the thing is, just like me talking to you guys, I can talk to the plants and they will give me what I want. Because they say, if in your yard, the dust of your feet, the plant gathers and gives you your medicine. So if you grow your own, whatever plants in your yard, it will create medicine for you. So if you cook from what you grow in your yard, that's why cannabis is very important, I feel. because it will create medicine, the trimmings,
It's not-
because the bong is not the flower. What the ancients focused on is called wildweed, Cannabis rudralis. It's a middle one, not the indica, not the sativa. It's a middle one, but we lost it. We lost it because we were so manipulative. We did this. But like you said about THC, Durbar grass grows THC,
Mhm.
cannabinoids from moringa grew THC. I could extract THC even from those. Holy basil also had THC. That's why holy basil plant in India they find it sacred. When you do holy basil, the paranoia goes away. So when you get paranoid behaviors, rudralis I was not able to test because right now, just now they released it for research. Before that I couldn't test, so I haven't tested the trimmings. When you get the trimmings, that's when you do the bong because it's not the flower, it's the vapor with the water. When it comes in, it resets the paranoid behaviors, schizoaffective and stuff. Because the mind gets split by THC with the brain. When you add water, the splitness is combined. Because if it is dry, it splits, so you get schizoaffective. Your mind operates separately, body operates separately. So schizophrenia is because they are doing it incorrectly. But all this knowledge, how do I get it? Beings give it to me, and it's annoying. It's not even like it's like inspire, like just like how I inhale. The wisdom is like just poured in. It's like a download, you pour it. Processing takes a longer time for me because it's like I can see in picture, but the puzzle I have to wait for it to fall into place, so it falls into place. It's like you get an image and you get guidance. So, but I have to use world wisdom too. I cannot just like that randomly go off and do things. So the thing is resoluteness, mission is resoluteness. We know what is legally right. Don't break the law and balance it with what is morally fair. Stabilizing families using 12 step and becoming a spiritual mirror. So that became the force. And when cannabinoids were, I was able to extract, I asked moringa seeds, just grow the cannabinoids I want. She promised. So anything I want, she'll grow.
Wow.
Seriously, So, but I need to do it from the space of not running my agenda. I cannot be in a selfish space. If I want to make money, she wouldn't grow. It has to come from spiritual.
I understand what you're saying.
So that's, yeah.